What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, I do want to take a second to thank each and every one of you guys who spent some of your time to hop into my live stream the other day. I really do appreciate it. And of course, I will be live streaming once again today, playing probably not some Modern Warfare 2, I'll tell you that much, but we might check out the finals or maybe some more Battlefield 2042. They also added some new things into Halo Infinite, so I might want to hop back into that experience. Who knows? We've been having a lot of variety on the Twitch channel, so of course, if you guys want to check that out, chat it up with me. I'm always extremely active in chat, and just have some good old-fashioned vibes, then by all means, tune into my live stream. The link to that is down in the description of this video. But ladies and gentlemen, today's video is going to be titled something around the sorts of Modern Warfare 2 Season 2 Reloaded is depressing, or it either let me down, very sad. And the reason that I want to word it that way is because I actually like what they put into Modern Warfare 2 Season 2 Reloaded. But of course, it's too little, too late. And at the same time, just how they act in general as a development team talking towards their community, it's very repulsive. It's very, very, very repulsive, and it's hard to want to get back into the experience knowing the people who are basically putting it together. And I guess I can't really put that on the, overall developer base. You can't really pinpoint each and every developer, but just management alone, it puts a very bad taste in our mouths, and sadly, the rest of the developers have to be guilty, by association. It's just how it goes in this type of situation. But ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and explain how I personally feel about this overall update. And of course, by the end of the video, leave your comments down below on how you feel about the overall experience, if of course you had any extra time to go ahead and test it out. Now, I have to be real with you guys. The new map is really good. To be expected, in my personal opinion. I, for one, do enjoy the overall base of maps that we have in Modern Warfare 2. I think they are 10 trillion times better than everything that we had in Modern Warfare 2019. Are the mass majority of maps better than the base maps that came with COD 4 or Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3? No, they aren't. But compared to what we have maybe with the base maps of Ghost, even though I enjoyed some of the base maps of Ghost, I would say it's better maps from there. It's better maps than, Modern Warfare 2019. Infinite Warfare, I really don't consider that really a traditional Infinity War title, so I don't put the maps into that category. But out of the other games that I just mentioned, yeah, I enjoy the style. They also openly addressed that they wanted to really focus on the map designs, and I could tell they're pretty darn good. Again, I do see a lot of people saying it's very large, but I don't really have too many issues with that. I find it pretty simple to get from point A to point B. It takes me no longer than 10 seconds to full sprint from one side of the map to the other. It's very easy to navigate. Once again, I try not to judge maps right away. And I try to encourage other people not to judge maps right away because it's hard to dictate a map if you don't put a lot of playtime into it, These maps have, different lanes, different lines of sight, different power positions that all come with time, learning, and also versing different people. It's going to take multiple days, maybe even weeks, to get a full understanding of where absolutely everything is, or where all the best spots are, or where to rotate through to, basically get the fastest momentum. For example, the B flag is right next to what? Is it the C flag or A flag? It's basically right next to one of the flags in the overview map. And I see a lot of people complaining about this. But actually, it's funny enough, when you spawn on the flag that's right next to it, the enemy team is still right there. By the time you get to B flag, the enemy team is already up in your face. As I said before, you just have to understand the flow of the map, where to go, where to rotate. I'll be honest, I was kind of shocked that the enemy team knew that already. They must have really been competing with this map for a long time. Of course, typical Call of Duty skill-based matchmaking, but we'll talk about that later. But it is doable. The more you play it, the more you learn it. I like it. And the new Marksman rifle, let me tell you guys, this thing is a demon. Just think of the TAC Marksman rifle, something that is, just completely dominating the Marksman scene. It basically 2 shots to the body, 1 shot to the head, with a little bit slower of a fire rate, but it does its job extremely well. Well, the new Marksman rifle is the TAC, but with an extremely fast fire rate. So it has basically the same damage. You have your 2 shot to the body, 1 shot to the head, but the fire rate is ×2, basically. It shoots way quicker. It's a demon machine. It absolutely destroys. Now, the challenge is getting, 25 different double kills, and it's not locked like it was in the past where they said, okay, you have to do this in 25 different games. You get 1 double kill here, you have to wait till the next game, get a double. It's not like that. You can get as many double kills as you want. I completed it in 3 games total, so it didn't take me too long, and I really enjoy the rifle. It's fun, it's interesting, and of course, any new content is welcome with me. Then, the party modes, and, they're fun. We've already played them 50 million times, but they're fun. But I guess that's it. And once again, like I said, I want to explain why I said, I'm depressed about this, or, I'm sad, or I'm down, or I'm let down by this update. instead of just overall being extremely furious and very angry with it, pissed off about the update, or just simply this update is complete garbage, instead of feeling like that, I feel the other way because, like I said, I like it, but it just simply isn't enough. Realistically, you sit back and you think, it took 2 complete seasons to get this one map here. This one new map. Please keep that in mind. It took 2 seasons to get one new map. We have gotten remasters for 2 full seasons, and this map wasn't even supposed to launch with Season 2 Reloaded. We were getting no maps with Season 2 Reloaded, okay? This was supposed to come, I believe, with Season 3. So, keep in mind, this is the first new map. And of course, the weapon is amazing as well. But you guys know me. I always say this in all my videos. When it comes to weapons, I count them more towards Warzone and the overall picture of Call of Duty. When it comes to 6v6, I like to really specify things with 6v6 because it really shows how little attention it gets nowadays. And when we think about the only 6v6 content, it comes down to maps, game modes. Really, that's it, And we are getting none of that stuff. No new game modes, no new maps. This update will easily keep me maybe a day. I played it for 1 day, 1 stream, and I realistically can't see myself getting back into it. And it's sad because I enjoyed myself, because I always do enjoy myself when I hop on this game. Again, another very unpopular opinion, I know, but I just want to speak, how I feel about this game and how I felt about it the whole time. The gunplay's fun. I like the movement. The movement is pretty smooth. The map designs, the new style of maps are way better. It's basically a better version of Modern Warfare 2019. It is. And that's why every single time I hop into it, it's like, wow, every time I play it, I see the potential. It just glares in my face, and I'm like, wow, this could have really been something. This could have really been a top-tier COD. It truthfully could have been. But then comes the lack of content, the lack of attention to 6v6, the lack of attention from the developers, the lack of love and all attention over to Warzone, all the updates being focused over to Warzone, and just completely changing things and nerfing things and doing all the wrong stuff. And I'm trying not to get angry here because I don't want to get angry. I just want to keep it as real as possible. They don't listen. That's the moral of the story. Every update that we get in every other game so far right now, and it's been really nice. I got to be honest, 2023 has been pretty decent so far. I don't know if a bunch of developers made, a New Year's resolution to go ahead and, talk to communities or something, but it seems like a lot of developers are going crazy when it comes to talking to communities. And surprise, surprise, it really works. And every update that I see in these other games, Halo, Battlefield, the finals, and I gotta make another video about the finals as well because they're going absolutely bonkers. Typically when a new game drops, that's something that's a little bit, I don't want to say lower budget or something, but not as big as a AAA title like Battlefield or COD. But when something like that drops, it takes forever for updates to come out, it takes forever for communication to come out, it takes forever for anything to come out. They've been nailing stuff all the time, weekly. My mind is blown. It really is. So, but as I was saying, seeing all of these developers do this, and their games are improving because they're actually using our community's feedback. And then you go over to COD, and they're doing stuff that makes no sense. Like, for example, the tack sprinting is messed around with. Now, for me personally, I don't mind. I already said I like the movement in this game. It feels more traditional to me. You have your B-hop, you have your drop shot. You can still tack sprint in this game. It's like a mix of all the movements from every Call of Duty game jammed into one. And I kind of like that. I got to be honest. It feels more like a classic COD, but not as slow as a classic COD. I can still do more things, if that makes any sense, with how I basically take on different engagements. I like that. Maybe not as cracked out as Modern Warfare 2019. I know a lot of people like to do the quadruple B-hops and the slide can. I know, I get it. People really like the movement of that game. But I really like the classic feel, the slap me down, God, he's so ass at COD, he's horrible. I like it, whatever. But why would they nerf down the tack sprinting more? Just because I don't really care doesn't mean, it didn't need to happen. The movement was fine. The only thing people wanted was for it to be faster. And honestly, it didn't need to get slower. Like I said, I think it was fine where it was at. And the only thing that could have possibly been done is make it faster, which realistically, I don't think needed to be happen. But that's the only direction I thought they could go. And it winds up that they still want the opposite direction. Nobody asked for this. Nobody. They're making the game more hated for everyone, when their job should be making the game more fun for everyone. If they don't want to mess around with the movement, there's ways to improve the movement for players who want that style of gameplay while not, basically screwing everybody else over. At the same time, it's ways to do this. Old school Call of Duty games did it. Increase strafing speeds. Give us more attachments that have better flow. Mess around with the weapon variety. Do something. Do work. That's basically it. Just do work. You know, if you do that and you listen to the community's feedback on what should be changed, it will only grow. But that is literally going to do nothing for anybody, you know? People who already like the movement to begin with are just going to stay, and the people who hate the movement are going to hate it even more, and more people will leave, you know? That doesn't seem too logical. It seems like, you know, you're not affecting one side. One side isn't even going to feel it, because realistically, you don't really feel it too much, but for people who really want to push with that style, you feel it tremendously. These updates don't make any logical sense to me. They really don't. Strange nerfs, strange, you know, buffs. You know, instead of actually fixing perks to help you with your flashes, they decided to go ahead and change the color of the flash. You can go into your settings now and make flashbangs go to black screen, which isn't bad. You know, it helps tremendously, but man, why not just make, you know, the perk more effective against flashes? There you have it, man. Easy as that, and people would absolutely adore using that perk. It'll make it more viable, or just tone down the flash in general. Tone it down! If it's that crazy, which everybody has been complaining about, is saying that flashes are absolutely OP, tone them down. The whole goal here is to make sure that all the lethals and tacticals are useful in some type of way. Whether you want to flash, stun, smoke, shock, I don't care what it is, they should all be equal in some type of way. They should all have their own use, right? Doing this, adding, you know, something in the settings that allows you to turn into a black screen mode is not benefiting the overall variety. You see what I'm saying here? That's why when these, you know, developers are listening to the community and they're listening to their feedback, the games are getting better, and people like the Call of Duty devs, their games aren't getting better because our feedback is right there in front of their eyes, and they ignore it and just go with something as silly as this. And I guess that's a bit harsh. It's not completely silly to do this because it definitely will help with the strain on people's eyes, but realistically, you know, they should be trying to balance everything out. The main complaint is not that flashes are, you know, are sending you to heaven. Is that they're just way too overpowered. They last too long. They're way too effective. They just need to be toned back so the balance can happen within the tactical side of your equipment. That's it. That's all they had to do. But instead of doing that, instead of actually putting forth the effort to make sure everything is balanced in the game, they do this, and that's it. These reasons just really make me disappointed with Modern Warfare 2. They really do. It's so depressing to see all of these games pumping with potential. You know, we are in the next-gen era of gaming here. You know, and we've been waiting for one COD game to give us a classic vibe of COD with next-gen graphics, next-gen animations, next-gen everything. We've been waiting for ages, and we've seen so many games come close, including this one, but they just don't want to put forth the effort. They don't want to become good with communicating with their community, and they don't want to push with this live service method in a good way. They want to continuously scam people out of as much money as they possibly can. It is what it is. They leak content into the game, they put less work into the game, and more focus into Warzone. That's why Warzone gets massive updates every single season, and 6v6 gets screwed over in the end. And it's so sad, because I know why Warzone gets all the popularity. I know why it gets all the numbers, and it sucks that Activision prioritizes numbers over just, you know, just trying to balance it out throughout all the fans that enjoy their games. Because the main reason why Warzone pops off the way it does is, yeah, BR is definitely a side. People do enjoy the BR experience, but overall, I think the mass majority of the casual fan base goes over to the Battle Royale side of things because it's 10 times less sweaty. There's so many players in the lobby that, yes, you will have competition, especially if you landed hot drops and, you know, you want to play that way. You will find competition, of course, but 100 plus people in one game, you are bound to have mixed variety, you know, or else you will be sitting there searching for games for about 2 years, trying to find everybody at your optimal level, you know? Yeah, that's why tournaments are held and they have people already pre-scheduled and everybody has to show up at the same time so they can start up a Warzone match. You know, if we're going to go ahead and have 100 plus people be in this tight algorithm, trust me, it will not work. That's why every game, like, you know, Battlefield, for example, or Big Team Battle and Halo and stuff like that, you know, and that's why a lot of times in Modern Warfare 2019, everybody went to Ground War over 6v6 because it's casual. You have more variety in gameplay, and that's what people play COD for. People play for the variety. They don't play to get the same experience again and again and again. If they wanted that, they would go to ranked. because people who want that want to improve. They want the same experience because they want to overcome that same experience so they can get better than that and then find the next experience where they have to overcome and, keep building themselves, keep building and getting better and better and better. Nothing wrong with that. But when you're casually trying to play, nobody's trying to do that 24/7. People just want a variety of fun, a variety of gameplay, a variety of interactions. That's what keeps casual gaming fresh, right? And that's why I think Warzone gets all of the popularity, because the skill-based matchmaking is nearly non-existent to the point where you can find of course, like I said, you'll find your sweats, but you do all the time. Back in OG CODs, when skill-based matchmaking was toned all the way down, you find sweats all the time. That's just how it is. It's the luck of the draw. You're not always going to get casual games all the time. You will get some sweaty games every once in a while. But, more than half the time, you will get a mix. You're not going to be playing 10 games and all of them with the same exact experience. You'll play 10 games, maybe, 4 maybe will be extremely sweaty. Maybe 3 or so will be, very casual, and the others will be, pretty moderate. But at the end of the day, that's variety across the board. That's what's making it fun. That's what's making it addicting. Every game is different. Every game is something new. You never know what's going to happen. And that's what makes it exciting. 6v6 doesn't have that spark anymore. The skill-based matchmaking is so sweaty. And yeah, for someone like me, I don't mind competing. You know what I'm saying? If someone wants to sweat in the lobby, I'll sweat along with them. I'm not going to sit here and, get all salty about it. It is what it is. It's what gaming is. If I don't want that, I'll go somewhere else and play a different game. I expect that when I play COD nowadays. But I'm just warning you guys ahead of time. I know you guys have busy schedules. I know you guys are working all the time. I know a lot of you guys are at class all the time. If you're looking to hop back and play casually, enjoy yourself, and not sweat, don't come to this game. I'm not trying to, be an ass about the title or anything, but you're not going to have a casual time, 9 times out of 10, even like early morning on a weekday, you know what I'm saying? Where people are at school or at work, you can get on at like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, and it'll still be sweaty lobbies. You can't catch a break in COD. You simply cannot catch a break. There is no relaxation time. Forget about it. Skill-based matchmaking is always going to screw over this game. The live service method will always kill it with the lack of content. And the ego of these developers will always push the fan base away. And as long as this trio is pumping in the Call of Duty franchise, I just cannot see a lot of people coming back. Maybe the next season will produce more content. Who knows? If it's a lot of maps, I guarantee it will get, a lot of people to come back and play 6v6. It will. But will it last? And will people still respect the development team? I don't think so. Even the Warzone side of things is getting screwed over. At least with Modern Warfare 2019, 6v6 might have gotten screwed, but at least Warzone was thriving. Not this time around. 6v6 is getting screwed, and even in Warzone 2, they're still struggling to listen to the exact feedback that should be improving upon the game. It's pointless. They take away a bunch of stuff that was improved, even just UI stuff. Even just UI stuff that made the game 10 times better in Modern Warfare 2019 Warzone. They took away in Warzone 2. Why step backwards? Like I said, people are losing respect. They're losing respect, and once the respect is gone, you can kiss the game goodbye. They can milk it as much as they want, but I guarantee, man, Microsoft, they're going to have to turn some things around, because if they don't, they're going to have a pretty rough game on their hands. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, in chat me, there's 2 ways to do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.